Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens offense is evil. Now, congratulations to the Ravens for coming out victorious. All right. Now, I think, or actually, I have the thing pulled up right here. We now have the Ravens versus the Bills. So this is going to be this next game up is going to be very, very big. Which we see it probably every single year. You know, Ravens versus Bills, Ravens versus Chiefs. So these next two games for the Ravens is going to be most ideal. So let me know in the comments, what do y'all need to do to beat the Bills and the Chiefs? Because we know how it plays out every year on the AFC side. It's the same three teams, bro. All right. So, hey, hit the like button, hit that sub button. Also, too, the Ravens reaction is on my Patreon. So, yeah. Link in the description and pin comment.
Thinking about the Baltimore Ravens offense, their 12 wins in 2024 are one fewer than they managed in 2023, yet this team feels leagues ahead and much more prepared for this moment. I mean, in Lamar Jackson, they have an MVP caliber playing at the top of his game, and Derrick Henry, they have an unstoppable force who is built for this time of the year. And honestly, I think it's official that we can now claim the Baltimore Ravens are the scariest team in the 2025 NFL playoffs. Now, the Baltimore Ravens have become renowned for strong regular season records and disappointing playoff performances, headed up by the ultimate regular season warrior, Lamar Jackson. Jackson could well be on his way to his third MVP award, but his playoff performances have left a lot to be desired, boasting an underwhelming 3-4 record with a 59% completion rate, 8 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
Damn!
Everything feels different. Like, I mean, in a game where just their rushing attack completely took over against the Steelers, Lamar Jackson was damn near perfect as a passer. His passer rating of 132 is by a long shot
and by the way,
best performance.
Hit that sub button on K-Rich Productions. Hit that sub button.
Of his career, completing 76% of his passes for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I mean, honestly, I think the 2024 season is just a real reminder of how far Lamar Jackson has come as a passer throughout his career. And I mean, we're going to touch on that in just a second, but I mean, in the wild card game, that just shows how dominant he was with his legs and how scary he is as a rusher. His 81 yards came at 5.4 yards per carry, and on the first drive, Jackson carried the ball 5 times in a row, toying with the Steelers and setting the tone nice and early. I mean, in this stat too, Jackson does already hold the record for the most rushing yards by a quarterback in NFL history.
That is kind of crazy, bro. Bro is literally up there with Vic now, bro. That is real GOAT status if you really think about it. Like, Randall Cunningham? Russell Wilson? Wow, Russell Wilson was a rusher for real? Okay. Wow. Interesting.
With 6,173, and every team the Ravens play knows his legs are his superpower. And the thing is though, nobody can still stop him. Like, I mean, week after week, Jackson is just gliding his way past defenders for huge gains and crucial third downs, proving to be one of the most reliable and dangerous play callers in the entire NFL. And I mean, as I said before, that was on full display on Saturday night against the Steelers, but that's not even the part that makes this team the scariest team in the playoffs right now. It's the fact that not only do they have Lamar Jackson running the ball, they also have Derrick Henry in the backfield. Like, I mean, despite having already played the Ravens twice this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers looked completely helpless when it came to stopping the dangerous duo on.
It's crazy because I really thought the Steelers were gonna have some type of, you know, revenge in their system or something, like they really wanted to win. But nah, bro. None at all, bro. And I'm glad that the Ravens really put them down. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, bro, Russell Wilson just made me mad, bro. To be honest. Bro just made me mad. So I'm actually glad that you just put that bug away. Put that bug away.
Weekend. I mean, almost immediately after Jackson had carried 5 times in a row, Henry took a carry 12 yards before receiving a direct snap and picking up 34 more yards. And also, we have to mention too that this impressive play featured a signature stiff arm that struck Minka
smacked him in the mouth
on his backside in embarrassing fashion for the safety. Like, I mean, the Ravens were just having their way with their bitter rivals, manhandling and outmuscling them in a way that perfectly epitomized January football. And you see, that's really the thing that a lot of teams are struggling with, is that they can't not stop both Jackson and Henry, and this opening onslaught put the Steelers defenders in
bro, the RPO with just them two in the backfield is absolutely insane, bro. Like, bro, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. That's actually insane, bro. That's actually insane.
Early. And just when you thought they were going to keep running the ball, well, they chose to pass the ball instead in red zone. For some reason, Baltimore.
The question is, what's happening with Zay? Let's see. Is Zay gonna be back? Zay Flowers injury update. It's 1 day ago. Let's see. They talking about we'll see. Missed Baltimore wildcard playoff win over the Steelers and a knee injury. Yep, that's in a we'll see mode. He's working hard to get back. Dang. He's on the practice last week after suffering his injury regular season. He led a team of 74 catches. Wow. Zay. I need Zay back, bro.
Away from the run and went to the pass, losing 3 yards on first and second down to set up a 3rd and 13 from the 15-yard line. However, the effects of Baltimore's relentless rushing had clearly taken its toll, as Jackson was gifted the biggest of pockets, allowing him to bide his time before firing a perfectly placed touchdown pass to Rashad Bateman. Really, it was just a deflating blow to the Steelers defense and just a constant reminder of how good Lamar Jackson and this Ravens offense is. They bullied their opponents into submission with their ground game, and when faced with a 3rd and long, Jackson showed why he is a frontrunner for MVP, delivering the killer blow with his arm. Truly, they are just too versatile on running and passing the ball, and it was on full display on that opening drive. In total, it took them 13 plays and 7 minutes to march the 95 yards they needed for the opening score, setting the tone in the most intimidating way possible. They did go on to punt on their next drive, and the Ravens imposed their will on the Steelers yet again on their 3rd drive of the game, this time starting at their own 15-yard line. Henry and Jackson both had multiple carries of 8 or more yards, including a vintage 20-yard scramble by the later on a 2nd and 13 that just had the defense completely lost. And I think they may have learned from their mistakes earlier in the game, because Baltimore didn't even decide to bother with the passing game for the rest of the drive, collecting another 1st down on 2 Lamar Jackson runs. It was then at this time to hand it over to King Henry, who delivered 17 yards to get inside the 10 before collecting another 8 en route to the end zone, shedding multiple tacklers in the process. As crazy as it sounds too, is another emphatic 13-play drive taking up just shy of 8 minutes, and most significantly, utilizing only run plays. The Ravens were doing whatever they wanted, and there was nothing the Steelers could do to stop them. Truly, it's one thing to have to worry about Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry on their own, but when they're both in the same backfield, trying to defend them at the same time is damn near impossible. Henry's reliability and relentlessness also allow the Ravens to take the pressure off of their quarterback, elevating him to be a driving force of the offense and creating more favorable situations for Lamar. Truly, read option plays, they're not fair anymore, and the Ravens made sure to take full advantage of the impossible matchup. Picking who to focus on is nearly impossible in this backfield, and as soon as you overcommit to the run, Lamar can get you with his arm. As soon as your linebackers start overcommitting and moving more into the box, that's when Lamar Jackson is going to punish you with a slant right behind them in an RPO or just a deep bomb later in the game. Because honestly, there is more than enough talent on this Ravens offense to make any defense pay. Teams all year long have learned the hard way, and the Steelers game, when they played them on Saturday, was no different. And what's crazy too is they did all of this and even some passing without Zay Flowers. That's how good this offense is. They did it without their best wide receiver. Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, and Anthony Miller all had at least 2 catches on the day. If Zay Flowers can return next week against Buffalo, then the Bills will have a very tough task on their hands. They even have a dynamic 3rd down back in Justice Hill, who is a very elusive option in the backfield, who provided this by bringing in a 5-yard receiving touchdown in the dying stages of the first half, increasing the lead to 21 points to 0 with just 2 seconds left on the clock. This play right here is just another reason of just how unstoppable Lamar Jackson is. If he doesn't get you with his legs, he's gonna kill you with his arm then. It's absolutely insane how good he is. A first half shutout with 3 touchdowns for the Ravens pretty much just signified the end of this game by halftime. The Ravens were just simply too dominant, and there was little to hope for the away fans that their team was going to muster up any form of a comeback. However, as we all do know, Russell Wilson did briefly threaten to do something with a nice passing touchdown to Van Jefferson, but Baltimore promptly reminded everyone who's boss by executing a 4-play, 70-yard touchdown drive straight after that. Punt returner Stephen Sims even got involved with a 15-yard jet sweep.
Wait, so who's going to be a home game for the Buffalo game now? Think about it. Who's going to be at home? Ooh, Buffalo at home. Oh, my God. That's going to be tough, though. Dang. So now Buffalo going to be at home per usual. Buffalo is at home. Y'all got to lock in, bro. Y'all going to the Bills Stadium, bro. Y'all got to lock in.
Henry iced it with a 45-yard run into the end zone. It was an absolutely emphatic and clinical drive by the Ravens that extinguished the Steelers' briefest glimmer of hope as soon as it had arrived. Like, I mean, truly there was little doubt about who was boss in this game, and nothing that happened over the remaining quarter and a half did anything to change that. Baltimore ended up enjoying a relatively comfortable 28-14 victory to move on to the divisional round, where they're going to have to play the Buffalo Bills. I mean, even as we look at the stats here too, Derrick Henry led the Ravens rushing attack with a whopping 186 yards and 2 touchdowns, which averaged out to 7.2 yards per carry, which is absolutely insane.
Wow.
It was followed up with Lamar Jackson with 81, Steven Sims with 15, Justice Hill with 12, and even Mark Andrews with 5, who came with a couple of sneaks. In total, that adds up to 299 yards, with the Ravens only falling short of the big 300 because of a Lamar Jackson kneel down. I mean, even in contrast, as we look at the Steelers too, they managed a dismal 29 rushing yards on 11 attempts, averaging out to 2.
Okay, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Yes. I did say Najee Harris was better than Derrick Henry. Yes, I did say that. I take it back, bro. Najee Harris is fucking garbage, bro. Okay. I thought when I seen him average two yards a game, I thought that shit was like maybe fluke. Maybe it wasn't, authentic stats. Maybe it was just a couple bad games. No, bro. Now, I don't know if is the Steelers O-line trash. I don't know. It's either the Steelers O-line trash or Najee Harris trash, or maybe it's both. I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
6 yards per carry. I mean, that's a difference of 270 yards, which tells you all you need to know about how one-sided this game was. Are you looking for a new book this football season? BetUS first page is 100 $. But if you lose control on the ground, then you have no chance. And with Henry and Jackson running wild, the Steelers truly had no chance from the first drive onwards. That's the thing, though, is that the Ravens, it's not just their offense that makes them the scariest team remaining in the playoffs. It's the fact that their defense plays just as well also. Like, I mean, even after starting the season so poorly, Zach Orr's unit has rounded into form very nicely. They held Pittsburgh to just 29 rushing yards, and it's indicative of how their D-line has played all year, limiting opposing teams to the fewest yards on the ground by far. On average, Baltimore was restricting opponents to just 80.1 rushing yards per game, which is 13 yards better than Minnesota in second place, who gave up 93.4 rushing yards per game in the regular season. This dominance at the line of scrimmage has forced opposing offenses into unideal third down situations, which has been great news for the Ravens pass rush. Kyle Van Noy and Odafe Owehi, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that because I know I did, but both have notched up double-digit sacks on the year, with Matabuki picking up 6.5 on his own from the interior. The secondary also had issues earlier in the year, resulting in the team having given up the second most passing yards in the regular season with 244 per game. Nevertheless, though, as the season grew older, communications issues and coverage busts became far less frequent as playmakers adjusted to Zach Orr's scheme and proved far harder to pick on. Marlon Humphrey led the team with 6 interceptions, and Kyle Hamilton remains one of the most dominant and versatile safeties in the league. Like, I mean, truly, with the secondary clicking and their defensive line just getting after the quarterback, their defense is peaking at the perfect time when they need to. Like, I mean, truly, you could argue that they might be the most well-rounded team remaining in the playoffs, and then when you add in Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, without a doubt, they are the scariest, I think. Like, truly, I would even argue that this might be the year that they could go all the way, especially because they have Derrick Henry to lean on, so Lamar doesn't have to be doing everything all game long. But it's gonna have to start this week against Buffalo. In the clash of MVP favorites, Josh Allen is a formidable foe to go up against him in his home stadium, but
I feel like y'all say y'all the best, right? Y'all say y'all this is the y'all year. Every year, I mean, y'all do say that every year, but I feel like it's different this year. So y'all say y'all it this year, and y'all different this year, and this is the year. going up against the Bills and Josh Allen is a perfect testimony. You know, let's see how good y'all really are, because Josh Allen's here every single year. Josh Allen here is every single year. He wants the same thing. He even wants the MVP. You know what I'm saying? So the best will win. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel like, even though the AFC, we do have the same 3 teams every year at the same time, it's still fun to watch. If you think about it, it's still fun to watch, bro. All right, obviously we got Pat Mahomes. Then we still got the Bills. The Bills always deliver great content. And then the Ravens always deliver great content. You know what I'm saying? So seeing the Bills versus Ravens, this is perfect, bro. This is the playoff games that we want to see. It's probably gonna be cold. I can guess right now the game is gonna be at 8 p.m. Let's see, bro. I just know the game gonna be at 8 p.m. I just know it's gonna be. I just know it's gonna be, bro. $6:30, I told you. So it's literally gonna be dark outside, cold, gloomy. Bill Stadium, they be throwing ice and snow on the ground. Hey, bro.
MVP favorites, Josh Allen is a formidable foe to go up against him in his home stadium, but the Bills finished the season ranked 12th when it comes to stopping the run and 24th when it comes to stopping the pass. Like, I mean, that's super concerning when facing the Ravens, especially when you consider these two teams have already faced off this year, and it was the Ravens who emerged victorious by 35 points to 10. Like, everyone forgot that Henry had 199 yards and a score in that game, and the Bills are very anxious to limit him this time around. And I think it's safe to say too that if they can't, then it's really hard to see the Ravens not racking up a significant amount of points here and winning. I mean, yes, you could argue too that Buffalo does have the firepower to score a lot of points themselves, but Baltimore's defense should be able to take away James Cook on the ground, which should put some pressure on Bills pass catchers, who we all know aren't exactly a star-studded bunch. All in all though, this Ravens roster is as talented as any in the playoffs, and the presence of Derrick Henry has given them the edge they need to control games and bully opponents.
Ravens. I really am rooting for y'all, bro. I want a Lions-Ravens Super Bowl. This is what I want, bro. Lions-Ravens or Lions-Bills. That's what I want, bro. But I really want the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? So, Ravens, I need y'all to go crazy against the Bills, bro. Please go crazy. Do it for us. Do it for us.